I live in Athens, Georgia. Athens, we Athens people in here? Good, all right. Come on. It's cool being in Athens. The thing that's interesting to me is that our mascot is a bulldog. You ever thought about that? Bulldog. Like usually a mascot is an animal that represents like power and grace, like a hawk or a lion. But we went with the dog with the underbite. That's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna do it. That's crazy. Because the bulldog, it's just like such a goofy animal. It's like just walking around, just like can't even breathe right. It's just like a little pig. Like a little pig. And bulldogs only exist because of selective breeding. You know, because humans were like, look at these funny doggies. Make them have sex so we can have some more funny doggies. And then their predisposition to have all these ailments, you know? Just like hip dysplasia, arthritis, respiratory issues. And so they're just struggling. We do this like human experiment to like put the dogs together. And then this just mutant beast comes out just like... And the University of Georgia's like, that's us, baby. Sicko! Actually sick though. Actually feeling sick. It's a funny town to live in Athens because there's a lot of people who are just like wannabe liberals. They're like just trying really hard to do the right thing, but they're dumb, so they don't know what they're doing. Evidenced by, thank you so much. Evidenced by the fact, I saw the other day there was a book drive for the unhoused. You heard that correctly. Not a house drive, but a book drive. Because that's what's missing from these folks' lives. Not food, shelter, or access to health care, but literature. That's what. Because why would you be worried about living on the road when you have your very own copy of Jack Kerouac's On the Road? Who needs 4 walls when you have the 4 agreements? Listen, it seems pretty silly to look for a home when you have the complete works of Homer. All right, that's a new line. I like that last line. You didn't like it as much as I like it, but that's fine. That's fine. As a comedian, I don't really know how to do crowd work, which is tough, you know? People will maybe, you know, best case scenario, somebody yells something out, and I'm just like, hell yeah, dude. And then just right back to our regularly scheduled programming. All my jokes are just off the bottom of the dome. They're very rehearsed. Don't know what I'm going to do if you just say some stuff. Crowd work, going to a show and like anticipating like, oh, there should be crowd work at that show, feels selfish. You know? Like, oh, you do an art form where you meticulously memorize and rehearse working on what you're going to present to the audience? That sounds great, but what if we talked about me? Let's talk about me for a while. That'd be a lot better, I think. I have a friend who is like, Miles, bro, I'm going to come to your show next week. I'm going to sit in the front row, get so drunk, and you can just roast me, dude. It's going to be hilarious. No, it's not. I'm not going to know what to say. Please don't do that. That's so crazy. Could you imagine doing that with another art form? Like, oh, your dance recitals next week? Bro, I'm going to come sit in the front row.
What is it?
Get so drunk you can pick me up. Dirty Dancing style. It's going to be sick. I know you all been looking up here thinking, Miles, you're a buff daddy. What's that like? I'll tell you. The thing about being an in-shape person is people talk about your body in a very weird way. They'll always use adjectives that are like damaged. They're like, you see him? Wow, he's so cut, he's so ripped, he's shredded. It's like, why am I damaged? That's so crazy. But there is like a precipice you can't cross. I think shredded is kind of as far as you can go. You can't see a guy and be like, oh my gosh, look at that guy. His abs, dude, he is in ruins. You see those delts? Beyond repair. Oh my gosh, is that miles or a pile of ashes and rubble? Sure can't tell. Sure can't. That's crazy. Do we have people here who have ever sold blood plasma? Tried once? To no avail? Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm trying to do it. The thing about selling blood plasma is when you're a queer person, they hate you. They don't want your blood. They're like, I'm not trying to get gay from your blood. I think it's so funny on the questionnaire before you can give, they ask you every time, they say, have you ever had sex with a man, comma, even once? Was that amendment necessary? Were there guys out there that were like, have you ever had sex with a man? They're like, no way, bro. Not a part of my daily routine. They're like, even once, they're like, oh, shit. Totally forgot about Matt. Man, I had no recollection of that occurrence. Then you said even once, and the memories came flooding back, just how I flooded Matt's back. I was told this is kind of a clean show. That's kind of the furthest that I think we're going to take it right now. No way. Keep going. All right, let me turn the page here. We got some other stuff. I recently purchased a house. Just wanted to establish that I am in fact better than you. Indeed. It's actually not like that. I feel the very much opposite of that. I feel like I made a big mistake buying a house. I just signed a contract for 30 years. I've hardly been alive for 30 years. I've hardly worked for 10 of those years, and I just signed up to work every month for 30 years, dude. I had so much free. I was so free. I was freer than sex with your mother. You asked for it, and you wanted more. I decided to give it. Listen, and I just went ahead and ruined that, you know? Not your mother, like the freedom that I had. It's horrible. But then people are like, well, at least you own your home. No, I don't. Regions Bank owns my home. I don't own anything. I just owe. That's all I do. Me saying that I own my home is like saying that a prostitute is my girlfriend. Because as soon as I stop paying, she's gone. It's over. Listen, that was one time. That's the joke is happening. I love you, sir. That's really sweet. You're looking out for Matt's best interest there. I'll talk about one more thing before I get out of here. I have so many jobs in order to pay for this mortgage. One of my jobs is I work at the University of Georgia as a live model for their art classes. Thank you. Naked, yes. Works well when you're in shambles like this. Demolished. And the thing about that job is I go in there, and what am I thinking about while I'm up on stage naked? That's right, my penis, the whole time. Just thinking about it, does it look good? And the thing about, fellas, the thing about a flaccid penis is a very fickle thing. You know? Because some days I get up on stage, it's swinging, I'm feeling just proud to be an American. I'm feeling good. Other days, I don't know if it's because I ate too much for lunch or what's going on, but not looking very good. It goes up in there. And the tough part about that is there's like a room full of like cute art students, and they're all looking. They all see. One thing about that is art students have like a technique that they use to get the proportions of your body right, where they measure your head and then distribute it through the rest of your body. So there's just an art room full of students that are just like, and that's their only exposure to me as a person. I see them, you know. It's a small town. I see them downtown. They see me. I see them talking amongst themselves. Try to read their lips. It's definitely like, oh, man, small one. Small. And it takes a lot for me to not like approach them and be like, please, you gotta, listen, it was an off day. You gotta give me another chance. Please, just give me another chance. I need this. Okay, bye.